I'm gonna be honest, guys, this book is kind of boring. And I know I sound so terrible saying that. Like, they are just in one ear, out the other. I am gone. I'm out of there. Like, y'all ain't gonna see me no more. He would get this backhand, like I wish he would. Hi everyone, and welcome to the start of a new weekly reading vlog. So this is the book that I'm going to be reading first this week. It is called A Dark and Secret Place by Jen Williams. This book is about a woman who finds out that her mother has committed suicide. During the midst of cleaning out her childhood home, she finds some very secretive letters. These letters are written between her mother and a notorious serial killer. She's like, it's a little creepy, you know. I didn't know my mom had this whole little secret lifestyle, but you know, it is what it is. So that's kind of her thought process in the beginning. But then her best friend is like, hey, have you seen the news lately? And on the news, there is a copycat killer. She's trying to uncover her mother's past. She's trying to figure out who this new killer might be. She's trying to figure out if the new killer actually has been responsible all along and the wrong person was arrested. I'm gonna be honest, guys, this book is kind of boring. If there's some secret, and I'm pretty sure there is, it needs to reveal itself. We need to get going because right now this book is halfway through and I'm definitely at like a 3-star, a low 3-star. So it needs to come on. But yeah, guys, that's kind of where I'm at so far. So I'm gonna read a few more chapters and I'll update you guys in a little bit. Hi everyone, and I am back with another update. I'm gonna be honest, the book is still sitting at a low 3-star for me. Nothing crazy is happening. Like, I don't know. I hate when thriller books are like this, where there's no like momentum. There's nothing like keeping you on your toes. Like, it's boring. We have found out that Heather's mom was at a commune when she was in her teenage years, and that is how she knows the Red Wolf, who is obviously the serial killer that was arrested. So Heather, being the little sneaky duck that she is, she decides she is gonna invite her best friend to go on vacation at this commune, which obviously it's not a commune anymore. It's like a little spa resort or something like that. So anyways, they go out there on vacation and they're supposed to be here for like 4 days, and Heather thinks she is gonna find some information about her mother as a teenager. I don't know what information she thinks she's gonna find, because obviously her mother was a teenager decades ago. Obviously, if there is any information out there, it should not exist anymore. But of course, since this is a thriller book and not a very well written one at that, I'm sure she's gonna find something. The only reason I'm still continuing to give this book a 3-star so far is because I'm genuinely curious to know if the wrong person was convicted all of those years ago, and obviously I want to know if Heather's mom was involved somehow. But other than those two things, I do not give a rat's ass about any of the characters, about anything going on. I'm not that upset when like a new person is murdered by this copycat killer. And I know I sound so terrible saying that, but like, we don't know the people dying. They're just random people, and just I don't know. I'm not that interested. That's all I'm saying. I'm not that interested. So yeah, I guess we'll keep going and see where the book goes from here.
Romancing in the east wing, in the west wing of this mansion. What's happening?
I just made it back from the library and I wanted to show you guys my quick little library haul. So the first book that I got is called Little Creeping Things by Chelsea Ichaso. It's this book right here. Let's go ahead and look at this creepy ass doll face in the corner right here. Like, oh my god, I am literally terrified. Like, this is so scary. So I'm going to be honest, I've heard mixed reviews about this book. I've heard a lot of bad things, but I am not listening to the haters. Like, they are just in one ear, out the other. I'm going into this book with a clear and open mind, and I'm gonna form form my own opinion. And then the second book that I got is called The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Guys, this is such a pretty cover. Like, doesn't this remind you of summertime? If you're wondering why the name Grady Hendrix sounds so familiar to you, it's because last week I read one of his books called My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was so freaking good. Like, I love that book so much. So yeah, guys, this is my little library haul for the week, and I cannot wait to start reading these books. Hi guys. So I finished A Dark and Secret Place last night and I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Y'all already know how I feel about this book. It was kind of boring. The writing wasn't that great. It was a 3-star. Like, y'all know what a 3-star is. It wasn't the worst book I've ever read. It definitely was not the best book I've ever read. And next month, I'm more than likely gonna forget all about it. So, you know, that's just kind of where we're at with this book. But I will say this, guys. There was like a really big plot twist at the end. There was technically 2 plot twists, but only one of them was like one we were not expecting. And when this plot twist revealed itself, I was like, whoa, where did this even come from? It was just one of those plot twists that it came out of nowhere. Like, it didn't really make sense. I'm not gonna lie, the shock factor was there. I just feel like it didn't make any sense. Like, it did, but it didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know? So now I'm gonna be starting Little Creeping Things. I'm pretty excited to start reading this one. So this book is about a high school girl named Cassidy. When she was 7 years old, she accidentally started a fire that killed one of her childhood friends, which is really sad if you think about it. And ever since then, a lot of the girls in her high school have been really mean to her, and they've been making fun of her and calling her a murderer. She's been judged about this because some people think she did this on purpose, even though she was only 7 years old. So that's just kind of how Cassidy's life has been going so far. Now that she is in high school, one of her bullies, whose name is Melody goes missing. Like, she just straight up disappears. She is a missing person, and normally someone like Cassidy in this situation would be really excited. Like, obviously it's sad that this person is missing, but if you're bullying me and you go missing, then kudos to you, see you later. But anyways, she is not allowed to feel that way because last week her and this guy that aren't really that close, but they used to be, they both got drunk together and they came up with a plan on how they could get rid of Melody because neither of them like her, and they actually wrote it down in a notebook, and this notebook has come up missing. So, you know, it's a little suspicious that Melody is missing, and the notebook with like the murder plan is also missing. So, you know, it's like a really big quinky dink right now. When they wrote the murder down, they were drunk. They were just kind of playing around, which obviously, you guys, first of all, you never write anything down. Like, you know, that's mistake number 1 because now you look suspicious. Now look at y'all. Now what? So yeah, that was mistake number 1. So not only is this murder notebook missing, but the same day that Melody is reported missing, some unknown number texts Cassidy and says, "I'm glad we're in this together." Like, if I genuinely have nothing to do with the disappearance of someone and I get a text message like that, y'all ain't gonna see me no more. Like, I am packing my bags, I am moving towns, I am moving states. Like, I am gone. I am out of there. Like, y'all ain't gonna see me no more. So yeah, that's basically what this book is about, and I will update you guys in a little bit. Hi guys! So I finished Little Creeping Things last night and I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. It was interesting to say the least. My first issue with this book was that I thought it was an adult book, but I actually think the target audience is like high school students, and I didn't know that going into this, so that's obviously my fault. So yeah, me and the writing style just did not vibe. And the second issue was the ending. I'm just gonna put this out there. I think that the author thought the ending was going to be like this really huge shock and that we were all gonna be gasping and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. But that was sadly not the case. Within the first 5 chapters of this book, I had 2 suspects in mind. One of the 2 suspects that I suspected was indeed responsible for Melody's disappearance, and I'm sorry, but if I figure out the mystery in the first 5 chapters, then was this really that good of a book, you know? So after Little Creeping Things, I picked up Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This book is so amazing. So it's set in a time period between the late 80s and like the 90s, and it's following this woman and her book club, which obviously right there, that got my attention. How interesting is that we're following a woman and her book club? That is so cool. So anyways, these women get together once a month. Their favorite types of books to read are crime and thriller books, and hello, that's obviously my favorite type of book to read too. So these women have good taste. So in the 90s, there's this one guy that moves into the neighborhood, and they live in one of those neighborhoods where, you know, the kids go out to play by themselves, nobody locks their doors, and it's a really wholesome neighborhood, which makes me miss my childhood, because in these days, obviously everyone is locking their doors. We don't really know our neighbors like we used to, and we all got cameras, like we don't trust nobody. But anyways, like I was saying, this guy moves into their little wholesome community, their little wholesome neighborhood. You know, at first everything is okay. He's a bachelor, he's kind of handsome, he's just a nice guy all around. But then after a few months, things start to get weird. Like a lot of weird and sketchy things start happening. Children are disappearing, children are committing suicide, and just a bunch of weird things like that. Our main character, Patricia, starts to suspect that the newcomer is responsible, so she gets her book club involved and she kind of tells them why she thinks he's responsible. And at first, everyone is like, what the fuck are you talking about? But after some time, they start to think that what she's saying may have some truth in it, and that's all I'm gonna say about this so far. I love Grady Hendrix's writing style. He writes so similar to Stephen King without needing all of the unnecessary details. Plus, he does this thing where he writes...
Mommy?
Yeah.
Should I see Patrick?
Patrick?
Yeah, I like him.
Okay. Plus, he does this thing where he writes females as the main characters. It's so crazy to me that he can write female characters so realistically and we not know that Amel is writing them. I don't know, that's so trippy to me, because usually when someone of the opposite sex writes about a different gender, you can always tell. Like, it's always so weird and awkward. But with Grady Hendrix, you genuinely cannot tell. Hello.
You know what you do. It's so hard to get high out of my system.
Hello! It's me, Guy!
Hi guys, I finished the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was literally so amazing. This is definitely one of my favorite books that I've read so far this year. The only issue that I have is that the husbands to these housewives were so mean. It was so annoying. Just because the husbands worked and the wives were staying at home and, you know, taking care of the kids, the husbands thought they were better than the wives. They treated their wives like they were teenagers when the wives would do something that they didn't like. And I was like, I wish my husband would, because I'm telling y'all right now, like he would get this backhand. Like I wish he would. My favorite thing about this book was definitely the friend group. I love how at the beginning it genuinely was just a book club, and then towards like the middle and the end of the book they were like best friends. I don't want to give too much information about this book. I think if you love Stephen King, I think if you love a friendship group, I think if you love a book club, I think if you love a badass woman, then you are definitely gonna enjoy this book, and I recommend that you read it. Like I said, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and Grady Hendrix is definitely a new favorite author of mine. This is where I'm going to end this week's reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a like and a subscribe, because I definitely need some new bookish friends. We'll see you next week.
You sound nice, great.
Bye guys.
Bye, guys.